Okay, welcome here. I am so glad you guys made it. I love seeing your faces. So thank you for those of you that it works to turn your cameras on. And if not, no worries, that's fine too. Um, if you have any questions as we go, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. If you don't know where the chat is, if you're on your computer, you should, or your phone, you should be able to see down at the bottom. There's a little chat bubble and it'll pull up the chat, the site on the chat there. So feel free to unmute if you have some questions. And a little bit later, I'm also going to give any of you that have been using the products a chance, if you would like, to share just like 1 or 2 minutes, just like 1 or 2 wins or something that you've noticed with the products. If that is any of you guys, maybe go ahead and drop in the chat. I could do that. And I also have some stories that we have been chatting about this past month in our chat that we'll probably talk about as well. But for those of you, so this call is recorded. So if you have friends that have gotten started on the products just in the last month or two, and they're not able to hop on, this means you'll be able to share it with them. So for those of you that are just getting started with the products, I just want to give you a big welcome. And also, I know it's a big step to just decide to do something new. It doesn't really matter how big or small the new thing is, just deciding to do something new. Like I remember how that was for me. And so, first of all, just give yourself a pat on the back, I don't know, just some kind of an affirmation or encouragement to yourself that you're giving yourself some incredible tools and the decision that you have made is a really good decision. And as you utilize the tools, you will begin to experience um, the changes that your body is doing with the tools. Um, a lot of people start with a combination of products, and often it's like one of our probiotics, either the ProbioCA or the Vital Biome. Multivitamin is also really popular. So we're going to talk about those today. The the Slim drink, either the hunger control or the microbiome activating, and as well as the BioCleanse. So we're going to focus on those. We'll probably touch a little bit on ease. We have so many products, we can't touch on all of them. Um, And if you have questions about a particular product, feel free to drop that in the chat too. Okay. So use the chat. The chat's there. Um, what was the other thing that I was thinking? Okay. So maybe your products have arrived. Maybe they're still on the way, wherever you're at. Um, when you get your products, I would really encourage you to go ahead and open them up and get started. You can start as soon as you open your package. I mean, if you're getting your box at 6 or 7 o'clock at night and Active is the only product in there, maybe you don't want to start with Active at 6 or 7 in the night. We have 3 products that have, I take that back, 4 that actually have some caffeine in them. So those you might not want to take late at night. Anybody want to unmute and tell me what those 4 products are that actually do have caffeine in them? This is weird. We never start our call talking about caffeine, but here we are. Anybody want to tell us? You just never know where we're going to go. Who wants to unmute and tell us which 4 products have caffeine? So if that's what you're getting, you probably don't want to start that at 7 o'clock at night. Otherwise, you open your package and you start using your products. Anybody? Okay, I'm going to tell you. It's Edge. Um, it is Metaburn, it is Active, and it is Slim Sweet Tea. Slim Sweet Tea has a little bit of caffeine. The other Slims don't. So if you, most times people like to do their Slim drink maybe like mid-morning. You can do it before your breakfast or after your breakfast. If you are it is really important when you mix up your pink drink that you are mixing it up and drinking it within 45 minutes. This is so important. Do not mix it up and sip on it throughout the day. Otherwise,
Okay.
You just will not get the results that you're after. I've seen this again and again. So mix it up and drink it within about 45 minutes. If weight loss is your goal, mixing it up about 40 minutes before 40, drinking it about 45 minutes to an hour before your largest meal is a tip for maximizing the benefits of that piece. But here's a big thing to remember when it comes to our Slim, which the microbiome activators are the short packs. There's the Slim and the watermelon, raspberry, lemon. Um, it's all about balancing your blood sugar, gut health, reducing inflammation. Alpha lipoic acid is an incredible antioxidant that is in here that is really good for brain health and inflammation. And so, not to ever feel like I don't need to lose weight, so I probably don't need the Slim. I'm telling you, I have friends who were struggling to be able to gain weight, and the balancing that happened in their body with the pink drink was what really was able to kickstart putting on some weight that they needed. So it's really about balance. Our products are about helping your body work the way it was intended to work. So, any questions about that in particular? Feel free, drop it in the chat, and I'll watch that there. So a lot of times people are drinking their Slim like mid-morning or maybe right before your supper time. You can decide whatever you do, just get it in every day. Okay. Every day, not every other day. You won't, you'll get discouraged and you won't like your results. And then with the Probio 5, the X Factor Plus, and the Bio Cleanse, you could take all of those right before bed if you wanted to. The X Factor Plus is pretty important that you take that one either with food or after supper, like just not on an empty stomach. Don't take that one first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. I don't feel well when I do that. It's all the polyphenols that are in that X Factor Plus. I mean, the capsule itself shows you that like it's pretty green. And so those polyphenols need to have food to bind with it as when you take it. Otherwise, you just feel a little queasy in your stomach. X Factor Original, on the other hand, for those of you that might use that one from the States, that one is not a big deal. You can take that one. It doesn't have all the polyphenols in it, so you can take that one on an empty stomach or whatever. What I love, love, love about our multivitamin that is different from a lot of them is it does have aloe in it. Aloe helps your body to better absorb your nutrients that you do get in. So, all those good things that you're already doing for your body, like um, all the different ways that you are working on your diet and things, your X Factor Plus is only going to help maximize what you're already doing. I also love that we don't have folic acid in our X Factor Plus. It is folate, which it is a methylated form of folate. And if you've ever heard of the MTHFR gene mutation, which I know it looks a little weird, but I'm going to just type that in the chat because if you've never heard this, MTHFR gene mutation, you kind of have to see it. If you've never heard about that, you should go do some research on it. It is something that a lot of humans have. It is a gene mutation that is an issue for a lot of people, and therefore their body cannot properly absorb nutrients. And our X Factor Plus and the Kids Vitamin both are incredible for that. So you're taking your X Factor Plus either with your lunch, with your breakfast, with your supper, or right before you go to bed. ProBio 5 BioCleanse, I recommend. Y'all catch that? I recommend, and I want you to know that there's not a perfect way to do this, but we recommend that you take it, start out by, trying to take them right before bed. It's kind of an easy time to remember things. Probiotics in your stomach, in your gut, while you're sleeping is actually a really good idea. Um, depending what is going on with your gut, sometimes probiotics with your food is it is a great thing for you. But generally, at night, right before you go to bed, take two Probio 5, two Bio Cleanse, and then you'll need to adjust as tweak things as we go, depending on how your bowel movements are, how you're feeling. And if you know that you are working on healing some kind of issue that you've been dealing with for a long time, candida, autoimmune disease, thyroid dysfunction, things like that, you will want to eventually like increase your probiotic. Um, like two is the maintenance dose. You want to at least have the two. And at some point, you'll want to even increase beyond the two because you're working to heal layers of issues that have been going on for a long time. So if that's you, if you're like more than just needing that maintenance, just know that you're probably going to want to increase that. But work with your sponsor. You have an incredible sponsor that is here to help you. So just stay really connected there. This is why our products are not on the shelf at Walmart because we we want people to hear the stories and we want you to have support. So that's what your sponsor is here for. Um, Ease, if you started with ease, I absolutely love whenever you start a new gut health routine, you can expect that you might deal with some detox. It's just your body getting rid of the bacteria that's had you feeling tired, bloated, anxious, whatever to begin with. You want your body to get rid of that. And sometimes you might deal with some detox. And Ease, our anti inflammatory, is actually really, really incredible to start with. Um, it often helps to minimize that discomfort that comes with the detox. Um, and a lot people start the triplex for so many different reasons. Anything from, struggling with autoimmune diseases to, you just need some extra support as a pregnant, breastfeeding, postpartum mom, as a mom just working to have your body strong for you. Maybe you're through that stage and you're already like headed into menopause or something like that. There's so many different reasons. Um, and now I totally lost my train of thought what I was going to say with that. But just know that what you are giving your body is tools to help your body function the way that it was intended to function. Any questions so far with what we have been chatting about? And you are welcome to unmute if you want to unmute and ask anything as well. All right. Anybody interested in? There was something else I was going to say about that, though. There was something else I was going to say. A lot of the things that, well, let me just ask this first. Anybody want to unmute and tell us a few things that you've noticed in your time of using their products? I know maybe you feel put on the spot, but it can be. Andrea says yes. Okay, Andrea, unmute. Let's hear. We would love to hear. Andrea has just started in the last, what, 5 months or so? I was going to share some of your story if you didn't. So that's perfect.
All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Um, I have noticed when I started with Plexus that I have felt a lot of energy, and I used to have like a lot of bloating and stuff, and being very tired a lot. And ever since I have taken it, I have not felt as tired and as down as I used to. I feel so energized and happy and just yeah, I'm just really enjoying having it. And I'm glad for the person that helped me get started with it.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Andrea. I'm really glad that you shared that. Um, I think you've been using Triplex. Is that right?
Yeah, right.
Anything else?
I use Triplex and then I have been on um Active as well. I don't
Okay.
know if you saw that in the picture I sent.
I
But
don't
yeah,
think
I've
I've
been
seen
on
it.
active and then I've been on the triplex. I did do one time of the detox one or whatever it's called, the
The
3 day
restore.
thing. Yeah.
Oh, the reset.
Yeah, the reset. Yeah, I did do that for a little bit. Didn't really notice that much, but which I should have done it 3 days in a row, but I didn't.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that will make a difference. I mean, you still like gave your body some really good nourishment and
Yeah,
nutrition. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, the reset is designed. Some people like to use it at the beginning of their starting their journey, just kind of to kick their body and to kickstart their results because it's 3 days of really focused on. It's a 3 day metabolic fat, 3 day nutritionally supported fast, really focusing on your metabolism, your liver, and supporting some of those things. And it's not just like a juice or a water fast. You're still
Mhm.
getting about 70 grams of protein, which is really great. And it's really working to bring inflammation down in your body and really kind of primes your body for
Yeah,
that triplex and things. So
right.
you can always try it again sometime, though.
Yeah, right. I'm hoping to do it again sometime. We'll see when that will happen.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Well, I am so glad that you shared that with us. Anything else you want to share with us?
Not really, just that. Yeah, I wanted to share my story on here and
Awesome.
that. Yeah.
Thank you. And
Welcome.
I'm actually really glad that you mentioned the energy, the bloating, the mood. And
Hmm.
when I started, we didn't even have active. And so I started with triplex. The second month I added in the multivitamin because I'm like, well, I really should be taking a multivitamin.
Yeah,
And I would say my energy, my and digestion were the two things that I noticed first. And
right.
that was not because of caffeine. I think a lot of people don't
Yeah.
realize how much that is connected to gut health. And even now, if I run out of my probiotic,
Hmm.
I feel it in my energy. I feel a lot more tired. Um, and so our gut health is so connected to like pretty much everything that we feel or don't feel.
Hmm. Right.
So,
And yeah, like I had been looking around for doing something for my like energy and stuff before I started with Plexus. And then I know Jolene on Instagram, and that's how I met her. And she had been sharing back a while back about Plexus and stuff. And I'd been thinking about it and didn't really know if I should. And then she encouraged me in doing it. So I'm really glad for her advice and helping me to get started with it.
awesome. So Jolene is actually the one that got you started. I was thinking it
Yes,
was okay.
yeah.
Oh, good. Good. And thank you for sharing. I think you have been sharing and there's just I think a lot of people are looking for solutions and they're not quite sure what to
Hmm.
do or where to go and um there's just nothing to lose at giving it a try, right?
Right, right. And
Yeah.
someday maybe I'll get someone to like build a business on it or something.
Hey, I mean
Maybe.
there's always that available for you. Everybody that starts as a VIP customer does have a referral link.
Hmm.
Um and whether you actually want to go on to build a business or just even have someone get started with you for accountability, just to do it with somebody else, that's always
Hmm.
fun. And I always encourage that. So
Yeah,
yes, I'm sure you will be a blessing to somebody.
hopefully.
Yeah, very good. All right. Anybody else want to unmute and share anything about your story or what you've noticed so far? All right, that's fine. It was really interesting in our one of our leader chats earlier this month. This was one of I was just going to share some of the stories that kept coming up with that. Um, oh, Andrea, one of the other things, I don't even think she mentioned that here. She said that she also had lost like 12 pounds or something in the process
Mhm.
of starting. So that's also really exciting for you.
Thank you.
Um, I would not have expected this to be something that people would experience a difference with, but we were talking about, there were quite a few of you that were talking about your skin not burning so much. Is there anybody on here right now that was talking about that? I'm not sure that there is, but there were quite a few people that were saying that, okay, well, was it? I'm just looking at some of the messages that I've had here. I just screenshot some of our chats, but there were quite a few of you. Lil, do you want to share something about that?
Well, mine is a little different because I didn't burn at all. Like I didn't get any skin coloring at all. I couldn't like in the summer months it was miserable because I couldn't sweat and so yeah, I couldn't handle heat very well at all. And of course, I always, you like to get a little bit of a tan or whatever in the summer, and I couldn't I couldn't burn, I couldn't tan or anything. Um so yeah, it was just last year that I finally got a good tan, like a really noticeable tan. And before, yeah, there was nothing. So that was
Oh,
really fun. But yeah, Trish, I know was one. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think. I had someone else
I
in
think
mind too.
Hannah was another one. Okay.
Right, Hannah. Yeah.
But again, this is just even you, like your experience was a little bit different from kind of like the opposite side of theirs. But again, it's all about helping our bodies to function the way our bodies are not designed to like, our skin is not designed to like burn so hard that, it becomes miserable and inflamed. But also, our bodies are designed to absorb some of the sun. And so, like, that's kind of where you experience, oh my word, my body actually did, take in some of the sun in that way. And others were saying their skin, they used to get kind of like puffy and inflamed or like just burned so bad. And now it was just more of like a nice, a little bit of a tan rather than such a hard burn. So you never know what's going to happen when you just nourish your body and take care of it with, a few incredible tools. And I think one of the things all of you guys had in common and that you guys were really kind of pointing back to that one was the active. Am I right? Was it the nitric oxide in the active?
Well, I know Trish had done some research on that, and that's what she found. I found that really interesting. I'm not sure, yeah, what all plays into it, but it's easy for us to forget that our skin is actually an organ.
Yes.
Like just like our inside organs are getting nourishment from our products, um, yeah, our skin is also its own microbiome. Like it's getting all that good stuff. Like it needs nourishing just like our inside organs do.
Yeah. Yes. And what was the other thing I was going to say about that? I think she had talked about the nitric oxide. Oh, Lil, I know for you, you've really, really honed in on the Restore, the liver detox drink. So I also wonder how much of that may have contributed to what you've experienced. Who knows? But yes, you have worked on so many things for so long. So good. All right, I want to touch just a little bit on what to experience, what you can expect when starting your products. Um, I say the first month is not really a month to expect much of anything. Be open to anything, but don't expect a lot. Really focus on getting consistent. And the second month, depend, especially if you're using the ProBio 5 or the Vital Biome, you might be increasing those doses by about month two. And month two, I would say, probably by the end of the first month, you might notice, especially if you're doing like the triplex and the multivitamin, you'll probably notice maybe you might notice that you're sleeping a little bit better or your energy is a little bit better. Also, if you don't notice that, it does not mean that your products are not working. It just means that your body hasn't showed outwardly just yet what all is changing on the inside. And you might also experience, especially if your body has a lot of detox things that you're detoxing from, you might experience like some discomfort by about week 3, week 4. And that might look like some fatigue, some headaches. It might look like some nausea or some things like that. And so again, not to worry, stay in touch with your sponsor because we've got tips and tools and troubleshooting, and sometimes it means tweaking some things and sometimes it means sticking with it and just kind of waiting it out. But here's the one thing that I do want people to understand is this journey is not designed to, if you do hit some detox, it's not designed to like stop your life. And so if you're detoxing really hard, stay in touch with your sponsor because it might mean backing down on your doses for a period of time. You do need to get those maintenance doses in, like at least to the maintenance dose, which you'll see that on the bottles. But sometimes it does mean like slowing down the process for just a little bit because you still need to live life. You still need to live life. And Leah there is like, yes, I know what it's like to like start the products and not see a lot of change for the first how many months. And yet, as she stuck with it. Yeah, you want to say something about that?
Sure. Yeah, like I think like overall, like I didn't really feel like even as you were talking about the detox thing, I don't even really remember that I really had much or a lot of detox right away. Like, but like, and there was some small things I kind of noticed, but like nothing really too significant in the major things that like were the reason I guess that I started the products for a good, yeah, I think it was about 11 months probably. Till I really started was like, okay, I really actually am feeling a lot better. And now, I mean, I feel like back in the like winter, I had some really rough stuff with some detox and probably involving some other stuff going on in my life too. But I kind of feel like, or I'm kind of wondering, I guess, if some of the stuff I'm going through right now again is maybe another level and layer of detox that is hitting right now, again. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a journey,
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. And our bodies, I mean, the way God designed our bodies are so unique. And our physical, our mental, emotional, our spiritual, it is all so interconnected in a beautiful way. And our body heals in layers, emotionally, mentally, physically, like all the things. And so sometimes, depending, like Leah said, you know what? I have other things we all have other things going on in our life as well. And so just being open to like that total body healing, and just knowing that, if you have some stress over in this area, like it might actually affect your physical health. And that those mental, some of the mental things that we go through and that we heal from, like sometimes we feel that physically as well. So everything is just so interconnected, and it's just a beautiful way in which God has created us. And yes, we do heal in layers. Sometimes we go through some healing and some detox and we feel really good. And then there's like another layer. And that, yeah, that can happen as you're healing I mean, it can be healing like past hurts and wounds and things like that can very much also just play into your physical health and your physical healing. That's all I'm going to say about that because we're not here to get into like majorly deep stuff like that today. There's so much that could be said. But just be, as you are starting, really those first 2-3 months, focus on consistency. That's what I want to say. And if you are feeling some of that detox, we have some tips to help you really drink your water, you guys. As your body, as you're really nourishing your gut health and working out some of the bugs that have been in there that have made you tired, bloated, anxious, skin conditions, whatever. Your body always needs lots of water. Start your morning first thing in the morning with water, if you at all possibly can. Just whenever I drink my water first thing in the morning, I feel like I'm watering a plant. I'm watering me. Getting that water in first thing in the morning is really, really important. Start your day heavy with hydration. Um, and the pay attention to what you're eating. If you're finding out that you're not actually craving, as you're taking your products, you're not craving, those sweets or those, whatever it was that you were used to eating, then look at that and go, oh, well, I guess I'm actually not craving it anymore. Pay attention to those cravings. And sometimes our habits, things that we're just used to eating have become habit, and pay attention to that. And oh, I'm not craving. I guess I actually don't need that. Water with lemon every morning. Yes, lemon is so good for your liver. So adding that water to your lemon first thing in the morning is so, so good. And what was the other thing I was going to say about um, the more you can focus on whole foods, like you're just creating a better environment for your body. Yes, life happens and you're not eating that all the time, but I also like the 20-80 rule. Like if 80% is, if you can focus on whole foods for 80% of what you eat, it's so nourishing for your body. So your movement, your water, the food that you eat, the supplements that you take, the thoughts that you think, you guys, all these things really, really work together to create the life that you experience. So, any other questions? Anything else someone is thinking about that we really want to cover? Stay in touch with your sponsor about like getting the most out of your perks. You got perks with your first order if your subscription was set up. If your subscription did not get set up, you can still get that set up, and probably your sponsor can get those perks into your account. Perks are points that you can redeem for free products. This is for VIP customers, not retail customers, but VIP customers and investors have the advantage of perks. Basically, you're getting points as a reward for consistency with your products. Every time your subscription processes of 100 PV or more, then you get more perks and you retain the perks that you have. And honestly, your subscription is there for consistency, helping you to stay consistent. You don't want to run out of your product and then kind of like go backwards for a couple of days. Stay consistent, be super consistent. And anything else? Yeah, we talked about the referral link. You have that. If you have any questions about that, reach out to your sponsor. I think we're going to just wrap it up with that today. I love all that you guys have shared. Drink your water, take your supplements, and just work on keeping a healthy mindset. All right. Thanks for being here. See y'all. Have a good Wednesday afternoon. Bye-bye.